Hey, you favored ones, welcome back to another collective reading. Come in, take your seats at the round table. There is the wishing well in the corner for anyone who wished to throw in a coin or two. And yeah, today we're going to be going over a few energies. First things first, for anyone who is new, welcome in. For any of those who are returning, thank you for your continued support and joining me here at the round table. So, for those who are new on my channel, here with our community, we enjoy doing something called an exercise or a manifestation or just placebo affecting, whatever your belief system gravitates towards. We have something called Welcoming in Utopia. So Welcoming Utopia. And we're going to welcome in either your personal, global, galactic, dimensional utopia would look like. And for some, the best you may be able to come up with is something that is a little mix of utopia and dystopian, because that might be something you're only able to envision at this time, and that makes you valid just as much as the next person. I just want to let anyone know that if you aren't able to hold that vision right now, your version is still valid. So, especially with everything that's going on around the world at this time, especially over in Gaza and Ukraine and the indigenous people of Turtle Island that are dealing with right now, I figured having a moment of silence or hope for them with Welcoming in Utopia would be an honorable and thing to do at this time. Of course, sharing and taking the time to protest where you are able and help in any ways you are able. If you'd like to light a candle with protection, with names underneath it or places underneath it, or just something that you would wish to envision, like Welcoming in Utopia, and you light a candle and put that piece of paper underneath, that's just a simple protection candle lighting that you could do for holding those energies. And also, my guides are reminding me right now, made my ears super warm, to remind everyone that this is a time for a lot of people to be taking on energies and a lot of our own energies. So remember to be doing a cleansing, whether you want to do a shower cleansing, a smoke cleansing, or even just simply as a return to sender. I return all energies that are not ours at this time. Please, spirit guides, guardians, and ancestors, any energies that are not my favored ones, please return it transmuted with love back into the universe and cleanse through the void, and call back any energies from other people that we have given away intentionally or unintentionally, as a way to hold ourselves in grounded energy. Which brings me to today's crystal, is a unikite. Unikite? Either way, whatever this beautiful friend is called. It is a stone of vision, so I figured it would amplify our visions for today for a utopia of inclusive and peaceful and food security, knowing that you're going to be okay and where your next meal is coming from. If that's what you're envisioning as a utopia, then you're valid, and I hold this energy with you. It's also used for opening your third eye, so a lot of you could be having a third eye opening or doing a lot of pineal gland decalcification at the moment. You could be taking milk thistle, turmeric, or other ways of opening yourself to what's going on around in the society, in the world, in our foods. It's also used for scrying. Some of you may be into using mirror scrying or water scrying, of course. I will also getting that some of you, even though you're not using mirrors to scry, you may be using mirrors to amplify your affirmations or affirmations. I don't know where it originally came from, but I know that I heard it myself from Brittany, the Intuitive Cosmic Wifey's channel. Is affirmations, is if you can't hold the energy of fully embodiment of the affirmation, then you can ask the universe why you should be in those energies and give the, proof in the pudding kind of situation. So it also brings emotions and spirituality together while grounding yourself. So some of you may be holding on to a lot of people's energies that aren't yours, and it could be becoming detrimental to your own health. So just remember to inhale the goodness and exhale the BS your way through things, especially if you're going on stage or if you're in crowds often. Just reminding you to be grounded within yourself and your own personal energy. So I was hearing before I came on here that, and I feel like this message not only just applies for me, I was going to come up here and just, ask the cards what's up, because I know myself and you, my collective, my lovely favored ones, enjoy when I just come up here and we don't know what's going to go down, and it usually comes with the best messages. I heard the sentence, the crossroads of loss. And right now we're at the crossroad of loss, where we are teetering over the loss that we have had and the opportunities we are gaining, and what we've created from that loss and turned it into something beautiful. I feel like we took the L with grace, whether it was having to move to different companies, creating your own company, having to ask for help, and that's new for you. It could have been a loss of a loved one, even. It will be different for all of you. Now, it could just been that you had a recent breakup, but you're starting to feel more clear with what your path ahead of you is, where it was murky before. And now that the rippling effect has calmed down from the initial impact, we're starting to act out of clarity. And I feel like for a lot of us, that's making moves towards creating a better tomorrow. And when I went to go shuffle to make sure that the deck was, energies were all set for today, right after I finished shuffling it, I felt the need to shuffle it one more time, even though it was cleansed, and the Emperor popped out. So I feel like the Emperor is a very big energy for today's reading in regards to whatever you say you're gonna do, you always come through, and whatever you put your mind to, you always end up pulling it off for the best for you. And whether that's cutting people off, like maybe you had a dream of traveling one day and now you're going off on an adventure, or maybe you didn't. Since you were young, you've traveled a lot, but you've been putting your hard-earned, dollar towards saving for quite some time. And now you are able to carve out the foundation worthy of sitting on. Whereas before, you were left standing within what you were going to create. But I feel like you are moving towards sitting in the foundation of your own creation. I think I've said that before in another video, but yeah, you're sitting in your foundation of creation. You know, you're balancing eating properly, you know, an apple a day keeps the doctor away kind of stuff. But maybe you're working on your diet as well as your belief systems. I feel like some of you may be into collecting skeletons or like animals' bones and stuff with the like all these ram heads going on here. Some of you might drive a Dodge Ram. And that's like you sitting pretty in the driver's seat. Some of you might be truck drivers, driving for long distances, creating your foundation, because like it reminds me of mountains and loggers. So some of you might vlog or blog, or do woodworking, work with working with wood, or you could even be in charge of being a botanist or in herbal biology, but also like I think it's botanist. But finding out like different places where what trees need what, and finding out which trees need pruning so that they can grow and flourish more. And I feel like this is a time where you have just finished pruning, cutting off the habits and situationships and fake friends that needed to be cut off in order for you to thrive. And now you are starting to see the harvest and the budding and the berries and the fruits of your ever so hard work. So I'm going to keep going with this as well. I did have one note inside of my phone. And just to remember everyone that these are general readings. So if there's a part of the reading that you feel ick about, or it doesn't sound like it's a narration of your life, then just let that be there for the person who needs it. We are a collective, not just in one individual cell. A lot of you could be working with cell work, or like Dragon Ball Z. This isn't even your final form. Yeah, you're planting the seeds and you're starting to watch as one seed started to bloom and you have another one waiting. And it's like when you planted a whole garden and you see that one little budding greenage, and you get super excited and you're like, yes, I will continue. And I feel like you're getting that, where you'll continue on. You could be living in your sobriety or working towards it after this loss, and you're now knowing that it didn't break you, and you're transmuting it like alchemists. You may have been called to the Merlin's alchemist reading. A lot of you could be, I feel, as a collective, we're standing up for what's not right anymore. We're no longer letting energies drag us down and make us feel trapped. We're no longer feeling trapped within our minds either. With the illusion card, these two fell out at the same time. So we're no longer feeling trapped within the illusions that we can't do anything about our situations. We're starting to learn that we can cut people off. We can learn to do better. There is a way for us to make friendships and lasting relationships. Like, we are worthy of love. We are worthy of peace. We are worthy of solid foundation and health, and a healthy mind, body, and soul. We are worthy of these things, where it may have been an illusion for us at one point or another. You know, some days we even have that days where it starts to creep back in and we gotta send it, not today. I didn't call for you. I don't remember asking your opinion. So a lot of you are learning how to use your inner teenager to rebel against your ego. Here's an example. So say your ego's like saying, you're not good enough, and like your teenage self is like, yeah, and why would I even care about your opinion, like, type of deal, because like it's like treating them like you're not cool anyways. So like, since when were we friends? I don't take advice from people who aren't my friends. Sorry, hashtag not sorry. And like getting them to like move along, carry on, move along. Or when they're trying to get you to do chores or whatever, because that is basically your parents. But now you're fighting you on behalf of you, like seeing the waterfall reflection of yourself from like Naruto, and I think it was from Shaman King anime as well, had a waterfall personality meeting moment. A lot of you may be looking into shamanism practices. A lot of you could be learning your own way of your own motto, like your own reason and way for living, much like Naruto did. He's like, this is my Nindo way. And it's like, you're learning to find your own Nindo way. You may also speak with guides and guardians. That is usually through shamanism practices as well anyways, but inside of the anime there is one person who could see ghosts even though he was not a shaman. He might turn into one eventually, though. I'm not that far into the series. Either way, it was about believing in yourself and helping your friends. And as animes all do, I'm strong for my friends are strong for me. But you're really taking a reflection and looking at yourself and looking at family patterns. There is one character that broke away from their family too, so a lot of you may resonate with breaking away from your family. Yeah, taking action towards loving your inner child the way it hadn't been as you were growing up. Yeah, because the Six of Cups talks about innocence and youthful family and reuniting. So that, along with the Ace of Wands, which is divine action and working your way up. So like, that's taking action towards your inner self and your inner child, the way you're speaking to yourself. You have taken a lot of action. You have made your way through from being the Page of Wands to the Ace of Wands. And you're continuing your journey towards the King of Wands. And right now you are giving yourself, not only it reminds me of your higher self presenting your gifts to you. So a lot of you could be having more of your gift awakening, considering we all have spiritual gifts we are given that we choose when we are coming through to live here. So, and all of us choose different times, or if at all, if they will be awakened or presented to us in this lifetime. So I feel for a lot of you, you are starting to listen to your intuition more. You're starting to notice numerologies and synchronicities that are coming up for you, and you're starting to listen to that inner nudge of, oh, that's just a coincidence. Oh, yes, yes, you are no longer talking your way out of using your intuition. Before, you used to be like, oh, that's just a coincidence, feeding yourself illusions. But now you're taking it and like being like taking it with a grain of sand, like a grain of sand, it looks like here. You were taking what you thought as with a grain of sand, which is great and wonderful, because skeptic, if you weren't a skeptic to begin with, then you wouldn't question things. If you wouldn't question things, we wouldn't be here. So I always love people who are very, who like to question things, who take a little bit longer to come to a conclusion and really like to marinate in their energies. I also think that it's when you're going with the flow, though, it usually feels right. So you shouldn't have to tell yourself, oh, it's just a coincidence, or that's not going to happen for me, because it can most definitely happen for you. This weekend, I ended up having my first time on stage rapping, and I didn't think that was going to happen for another year or so. And I worked hard, and it's exciting, and I got offers for collaborations after. So, don't give up, and don't think that just because it doesn't align with your plan that it couldn't be your plan. So listen to never say no to an opportunity. No, you can say no to an opportunity, but if it feels like you got to be like, this is too good to be true, like always cover your do the Heya rule, cover your own cover your own booty. But yeah, don't ever count yourself out. It was 222 on the clock, so you'll be seeing sequences of 2 or 234. Next steps of your lives, 222, duality. You are learning to balance, as it was with the whole crystal, and balancing the person you were before this loss and the person you were after. But I feel like for some of you, the loss wasn't yours. It was someone losing you. And because, all these readings have opposite energies, this could be the energy that this person is within right now thinking about you. It could be their loss as well. So remember, as this is a collective, all the readings could be of the opposite general direction as well. Make sure that you're taking it all into perspective, and seeing it from all angles. And yeah, am I getting any more from this, or am I moving on to another deck spirit? This one? Yeah. You're learning how to conserve and be selective. That's not stingy, but selective with your energy. It's not like you're low on energy. You have an overflow of creativity and energy at your disposal. Remember to claim that in your utopia. Thank you, universe, for all the energy and wisdom you grant my favored ones. Thank you, universe, for bringing people who respect themselves and respect the favored ones into their lives, and opportunities that are for their highest good. I appreciate the way you take care of us. And I appreciate the way you give me a voice to speak out for others. Yeah, something's getting cooked up for you or heated up. The heat just kicked in. There could be someone getting induced, like breaking their water. When I was looking at it, it looked like someone's water broke. That's not going to be for everyone. And some of you may be worried about your child as well, is another image that I'm getting from this. And you're taking good care of them. You are giving them the best care that they could provide, that you can provide, and they're happy they chose you to be their parents, and they're happy that you're not giving up on them. I don't know whose message that was for, but that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, whoever's little one came through there. I'm happy that you're being taken care of. Whew. My heart. Congratulations for those who are being induced, by the way, or having a child. It could be fur babies or an actual human baby. Congratulations all around. You could be becoming a grandparent as well. Congratulations. Yeah, here. It reminds me of Ace of Base, where it's like pearls. It's like, give me your tears, let me turn them into pearls. And it's like you're using all your tears and creating pearls. Now, this could be that you're making tributes. You're using that your childhood trauma, or like just the pain that you've experienced, and you're pouring that into your creative endeavors instead of bleeding that hurt out onto others. So that's a really brave and a really respectful move is and wise move to take action against your fears and pains and facing them head on with therapy, or through creative endeavors in order to express yourself, is a huge emotionally intelligent move. Because instead of bottling that up or bleeding on others or shifting the blame, which would be an easier route to go for anyone. So the fact that you are taking that opportunity, even though, yes, we have bad days, we're human. We're human. It happens. I know, even the roughest day. Yeah, I know which one you're thinking about. That rough day where you're like, yeah, that's the one you need to give yourself grace for. I'm sorry I waved my finger at you. I'm sorry. No one deserves to be tattle-wiggled. I don't want to lecture anyone. I ain't nobody's mama. Except for these little babies. Yeah, I know, I'm your mama. I birthed them with my love. Number 27. So some of you could be 27 or 72. The number 9, the ending of oblivion and the beginning of creation. Because you felt like you were oblivion and you're putting the pieces back together, and this is like the radio signals of like music or the love that you're giving back out. It's also reminding me of the one time I said inside of a reading that you are making a big impact on people, even though it may not seem like it. Maybe your asteroids are in smaller pieces so that you leave little impacts all over the place instead of it's so that it's not as recognizable because you can't just step inside of the crater, but you're still making a big impact because you're doing it and planting seeds all over the place. Some of you could be getting ready for next year's planting of seeds, even with it being the end of the harvest here, and you're just jarring everything and getting ready for next year. So you could be writers and sing in light language, music teachers, or coaches, or you work selling musical instruments. So you might be eating grits and like eating, could be allergic to grits. Going gluten free. Or British is what makes me think of. It was 3114 and 314 pi, so you are infinite. As well as it brings me back to Egypt again, which means that I feel like they're calling out for us with the explosions, and we are voicing it. We are voicing it back, and we are amplifying those cries. And the reason why 314 is associated with Babylon and ancient Egypt, and 3.14 was the measurements used in the creation of the pyramids and Giza and the Orion belt for the Pleiadians. So you may be may work with the Pleiadian sisters and have starseeds from there as well. Some of you may also work with the fairy sisterhood as well. Some of you may be connecting with your familiars, as the pearl is an animal itself still. Some of you may have a familiar as being the shell, or work with Aphrodite or Ishtar. So when the grit becomes a pearl, essential meaning, reinventation, learning from past mistakes, surrendering to the lesson with grace. As I was saying, yes, that's the one you need to give yourself grace for. Ooh, I love it when I synchronize. And maturity, yes, like I said, you are moving through things with maturity and emotional intelligence instead of shifting blame, running away, staying around in an environment that is not supporting the life that you would love, that you want to live. So giving yourself grace. 333 So getting moving, and after this this ending. Sometimes like it could be an ending like you got evicted from your home, like it reminds me of like Superman's planet getting destroyed and having to come to Earth. So some of you may resonate with coming from a planet and being a starseed from a planet that no longer exists and was destroyed, or your home itself was either destroyed, or it could be something along the lines of having the house sold out from underneath you. So now you need to move, and now you're creating a new home. So for any of those who are in transitioning to a new home or finding a home, may you settle in nicely and safe and sound. Dun, 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 dun. Safe and sound. I can fill you up. The universe wants to fill you up. That sounded way more inspirational than you want to know what? It means it in all ways. Whatever. Universe wants to get. Universe wants the wingman, or wing woman. Yeah, her wing person. You wanna know what? I don't know what I'm call it. They wanna, BFF and help you land that shot. Then yes, get it. All that friction, irritation, and resentment, the growing pains, identifying with your wound and then releasing them. You have been through rough seas for sure. Some of you might be from Newfoundland or Irish, because my accent started to come out there for a moment. For sure. Now you holding the precious pearl of wisdom in your hands and heart and psyche. You are forever changed. After all, you cannot change your pearl back into the grit, nor would you want to. Yes, you might get triggered here and there by the ghosts of the past, but nothing compares to the journey of learning you have been on. You will notice how quickly you can turn things around, how quiet you can become in the middle of a storm, how adept you become at knowing when to speak up or step away, how mature you are now. It is time to look how far you have come and be mindful of opportunities, relationships, and interactions that remind you of the ones you've been through already. You do not have to learn the same things repeatedly. You have a choice now to move forward or walk away. Some things cannot be changed no matter how much you want them to. Certainly, you know you can change only yourself. Even if you want to influence others to see things your way. That didn't work before, and it won't work now. Take things at face value and trust your intuition to avoid unnecessary grit. Treasure is awaiting you on the other side of this situation. Whatever choice you make now, if you move forward and discover it's not for you, you can always change your mind. The point is, your next move is about having an experience. Because you have already accumulated so many pearls of wisdom, you can trust yourself to make the right one. Breathe. You've got this. So that's everything I got for you today. I feel like that's a good note to end off on there, is that you've got this. I know media is spinning it, and I know they're cutting us off from information, and when that happens, we think the worst because we are left without any narrative, and the human mind can come up with some pretty intensive and extensive stuff. So remember to stay grounded during this time, but also to be self-aware of what is going on around us. It doesn't mean that we bury our heads in the sand and pretend it's not happening, but we also can't punish ourselves to the extent of knowing that the systems are working as they were created to. And we're gonna win. It shows in history. Even though they write it themselves, they still show. Love conquers all. 5665. I know that's not on the thing 3939 is. So you might have been born around 39 or something. You could have. But yeah. Or you could be 39 as well. That could be how old you are right now too. 93 could be an important number for you. What was I getting at? 5665, which equals to being love conquers all. And that's what I want to leave us off with here. So, you can do that candle lighting for protection and cleansing. And if you wanted to, you could even use a black one that will amplify the effects. And I wanted to remind all of you that you are worthy of love, respect. I see you. Your pain is valid. Your creativity is valid. And you're amazing. Point blank. No argument. And if there was an argument, it'd be that you're awesome. So remember to eat, hydrate, and to have fun. Bye.